Okay, everyone, continuing on. We have one more Ultra member submission here for episode 38 of DSP versus the Internet, and then we're going to head to the standard member submissions and a randomized playlist. So, let's see what it is. It looks like it's wrestling related, and it might be something I actually know about, because I think this is a reference to something from many years ago. I don't know about modern wrestling, because I haven't watched anything of modern wrestling in many years, but, you know, wrestling from, like, the 2010s and stuff, early 2010s when I was doing my commentary show, that I'll know about. So let's see what this is. Inside the ropes. Paul Heyman on that CM Punk promo.
Somebody mentioned CM Punk earlier on. I know you guys are really good friends, and I wondered when you came out on Raw in Chicago in March of 2014, and everybody wondered was CM Punk going to come back or not, and you came out to his music and cut the promo. Was that difficult for you to do?
No. No. Because I knew I had an opportunity to do something that no one else could do. You know, here's the humble part of this business. The humble part of this business. Did Punk know? No. I'll tell you how that happened. Yeah. Vince McMahon did not know about the fact that there was a move to quote unquote hijack Monday Night Raw. And the entire show was laid out, just including a Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman promo. And about 90 minutes before the show went on the air, I went to Vince and I said, "Are you aware of what we're facing here just weeks before WrestleMania?" And I showed him on my phone just a sampling of what we were about to face on that show. That it was the determination of a very passionate crowd in a very passionate city to take over that show and heckle the show for 3 full hours chanting the name CM Punk. Yeah. Now, Punk and I have...
I'm trying to remember what the time frame is of this. Is this after CM Punk quit? Right? That he had quit WWE and he wasn't coming back. Like, this is after he just outright quit and never came back. He had quit at the Royal Rumble that year in January. And I guess the rumblings were, oh, will he come back? You know, and stuff like that. And I guess what Paul Heyman here is saying is that the internet intention was that everyone was going to completely heckle WrestleMania the whole year, just chanting CM Punk the entire time. And I guess he did a promo. I don't remember what promo they're referencing here. So... No, not the pipe bomb. The CM Punk pipe bomb was in 2012. He's talking about 2014. So this is 2 years later after Punk had left.
Industry in very similar ways for a long time. The industry moves forward without you. The industry moved forward without Bruno Sammartino. The industry moved forward without Bob Backlund. The industry moved forward without Hulk Hogan. The industry moved forward without Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. The industry... Hey, in the past year, John Cena, who, I mean, has pulled this wagon, has been the man in WWE for 15 years. John Cena made fewer appearances than he ever has on any given year that he has since 2002. Company moves on. Company was going to move on without Brock Lesnar. Company's going to move on without Paul Heyman. Company's going to move on without Roman Reigns. And guess what? Company's going to move on one day without Vince McMahon. It just is. And if it doesn't move forward, then what have we built? We built something that means nothing, because if it revolves around one person being involved, we're screwed. It can't revolve around one person. So Punk was gone, and the audience was going to hijack the show. And I said, hey, our object is to promote Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Well, last year, CM Punk lost to The Undertaker. And that was the beginning of the downward spiral of CM Punk and Paul Heyman, because it all fell apart after that. And I'm going to blame it all on the fans, because they took Punk away from me. And you know who I blame besides the fan? I blame The Undertaker. And I'm going to teach The Undertaker a lesson. How? Because since he led the fans at taking Punk away from me, being the asshole that I am, I'm going to take the streak away from him. And how do I take the streak away from him? Brock Lesnar. So how do I set it up? That's right, because I'm an asshole. Not as much as you are for yelling that out, but I am an asshole. So I said, let me fuck with them. I just want to go out there and fuck with them. Damn it, man, what are you going to say? I don't know. But I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to lure them in. I'm going to turn completely babyface. I'm on their side. Oh, my God, I wish CM Punk was... God damn it! You're going to say CM Punk, you wish he was here tonight? Yeah. Yeah, because I do. Because I do wish he was here tonight. And you want to know something? This guy, when he's out there, blames The Undertaker for Punk not being here. And I'm going to take that streak away from The Undertaker. And I just said, just give me 15 minutes. Just let me go out there and lure them in. And let me take it away from them.
I mean, that's good. And you got to think that guys like him can actually direct the company, even, just with a promo. Just going out there and, completely get people into a match, because I don't think people were at that point, like he's saying, people were so upset that the wrestler CM Punk had left the company unplanned, and that he was such a white hot wrestler. Everyone wanted him in WWE, and he had left, that people were just gonna like destroy WrestleMania. And through that promo, he transformed the plot line into the reason CM Punk left is because of The Undertaker. Now that's not true at all. CM Punk has outright said, no, the reason I left the company is because I felt like I was being mistreated. I was being overworked. Vince wasn't listening to me. I was, injured. He was telling me I had to keep working. He was doing plot lines I didn't want to do, and he forced me to do them, and I just didn't like the direction of my life at that point. There's many different things that Punk has said about why he left WWE at this time. But for someone like Heyman to be able to change the narrative and create a whole new narrative out of reality, turning reality into a fantasy plot line that people can buy into, and then they cared about WrestleMania. And was this not the WrestleMania where the Undertaker streak actually ended to Brock Lesnar? And then that became the plot, and the CM Punk thing went away. So, pretty genius of Paul Heyman to do that. Okay, that's all. I'm not going to keep going with that one. All right, now, guys, I need to set it up so we can watch the standard videos for the week. So you can bear with me for a second here. I'm just going to set that up. Hold on one second here. I gotta jump back into my app, and I gotta go back a page, and I gotta click on here, and I gotta click on shuffle, and then I gotta click on play all.
In the game Dark Souls.
Okay, I think it's working. Now, we've been having issues with YouTube playlists not truly shuffling, all right? We're going to just watch this. The thing is, this week, I'll be honest with you guys, we lost a lot of members because of my illness. And with all those members we lost, okay, there's significantly less submissions this week than we would typically have in a week. So, I'm just going to hit play, and we're just going to watch these in whatever order they play. And if they end up not being randomized order, I apologize. I can't really help that because YouTube has to work, and I did hit random. But the thing is, chances are we're going to get through a lot of these videos anyway, because there's not a ton of them this week. I don't know if we'll get through all of them in the next 2 hours, but we should get it through a bunch. Okay? All right. So without further ado, Armored Core 6 Dunk View. Armored Core 6, I played Armored Core 6 for the first time ever. I never played an Armored Core game before, and I played it back in the fall, and I liked it a lot, actually. I think it was late summer, actually. I liked it a lot. It certainly wasn't as difficult as, say, Dark Souls. It certainly was difficult, as long as you basically followed what the game kind of was putting out there. Like, every time that there was new parts, buy some of the new parts, equip them, try them out, find this different play style for this part of the game. As long as you kept evolving your mech, by the end of the game, nothing was too challenging. I think a lot of people had issue with the game because they were trying to play it like Dark Souls and try to play one play style, and because of that, they couldn't get through the game because you're hitting the wall. The play styles don't always work. You can't just play, I want to use a big sword. Well, that ain't always going to work. When you're playing Armored Core, you can't just use the big gun. You got to mix it up. You got to be using different weapons, different ways to maneuver around, different builds. And that's how you excel in the game. I think a lot of people didn't understand that. Okay? But anyway, I loved it. I thought Armored Core 6 was a super good game. So, let's see what Donkey has to say about it.
There is an enemy called Armored Boore. Well, actually, he's called Fang Boore. So is Armored Core 6 an Armored Boore? Or is it more like doing chores?
What?
Well, I'll say this. It's no Pikmin 4. Before they were making games like Elden Ring, From Software was pumping out goofy crap like Eternal Ring. You see, back in those olden times, there was a genre of games called mech games. And there was a million of them. Zone of the Enders, Mech Assault, Frame Gride, Murakumo, Custom Robo.
It is true, there was a lot of them back then.
Oh, Mobile Suit Gundam, so many Gundam games. Chrome Hounds, Lost Planet, Steel Battalion that you play with this controller.
That crazy thing,
Three
look
of
at
those
that.
games were by From Software. Back then, From Software was putting out 5 to 6 games a year. They were spammers.
Wow.
And while they did like to experiment, most of that output was Armored Core. They made a lot of these until Dark Souls. Today, From Software is one of the best game studios out there. Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro was my game of the year in 2019, and Elden Ring was my game of the year last year. Armored Core 6 is nowhere near that level of quality. This is more like a guilty pleasure game. In this game, you are a badass giant robot shooting the ever-living shit out of everything that you see at 300 miles per hour. To win, slam every button on the controller while screaming at the top of your lungs like a caveman. There is no thinking, no strategy, just blow shit up and go hee-haw.
I mean, that's not very true.
Elden Ring, nearly every enemy commands a certain level of respect. Even the lowliest foe can kill you if you're not careful. In Armored Core, you will blast through 700 stupid fucking robots like nothing because they are made out of McDonald's toys. And then they send out some rinky-dink dumbass mini-boss and I annihilate him within 4 seconds because I do not give a shit about this man. If that sounds stupid, it's because this game is stupid. This is mindless monkey mush that is like one cognitive step beyond Dynasty Warriors and Diablo. If I'm making this game sound easy, yeah, it's really easy, except for this one boss who's impossible. All that being said, I kinda like it. The movement in this game is so far beyond anything I've seen in a FromSoft game. Your mech is just gracefully gliding around the screen like a figure skater with enough weapons to engage.
What's funny is he agrees with me. Like, I didn't think that the game was very hard. I definitely agree that one boss is pretty much the most challenging thing in the game, but I didn't find it ultra challenging. Like, there were some things that were tough by the end, but as long as you keep changing your mech build and buying the new parts, it's not that hard. I don't get why some people were saying the game was so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really makes me scratch my head that so many people were saying that this game was difficult when I didn't really find it that difficult.
Within 10 seconds of gameplay, you'll dodge 3 rockets, slide into a dude's face, blast him with a shotgun, then lock onto a group of helicopters in the distance with your missiles. And then there's the customization angle. The player has so much freedom in choosing how they approach the game. You can turn your mech into a massive tank with rocket launchers and cannons on its back, or you can be a nimble little guy with a machine gun and a laser sword. It's a lot of fun to cook up some wacky build and see how it actually fares in a mission. And if it sucks, it's not a big deal. It's a very simple system that wants you to experiment. I will say that the weapon balance in this game is about as good as the weapon balance in Elden Ring. So not good. Once you do crack the code and formulate your dream machine, it's hard to walk away from that power. About halfway into my playthrough, I came up with this wheelchair robot with dual Gatling guns. This thing is unstoppable.
Yeah, it's freaking that's the good tank treads. They're super good.
But listen, it was really funny. It was like a giganto version of that wheelchair you get in Dead Rising 2. Remember that impossible boss I was talking about? Where does health bar go? What's crazy is that you can probably build an even more powerful mech than this one. I really am curious to see what other people are going to come up with. For me, the fatal flaw of Armored Core is that once you settle into the groove of how to win, you just start playing on autopilot. Going back to Elden Ring, that game is massive, and yet there is so much variety across its duration because every enemy has to be given some respect. You have to observe their moves and dodge their attacks, so it's like every enemy is slightly altering the rules of the game. Armored Core allows players to get fancier than they ever could in Elden Ring, but because you can apply the same strategies to nearly every boss and enemy in the game, it feels kind of one note. For players that really want to challenge themselves and sink their teeth into this game, you can go for the S rank on every mission, although...
See, I don't know if I agree with him. Because, again, the reason that I feel like I excelled is because I kept changing. If I kept using the one strategy the whole game, I don't think I would have done as good as I did. But I changed it up. I started with a faster mech with like a machine gun and like a laser. And then I changed it to have the sword. And then I changed it to have a hovering ability. Right? The hover was really good. But then I changed it to have the shield breaker. Right? Then I started building more defense on my mech. Then I put tank treads on it. You know, the whole game I was constantly changing. And that's what kind of makes me scratch my head. Is I don't know... I guess everyone played it different. It really feels to me like everyone played the game different, and some people really liked it and some people didn't. I don't know. It's very confusing. This is I agree with him on certain points, and I completely disagree with him on others. I don't know. I thought the game was good. All right, let's continue.
Have you ever heard of At the Steps of City Hall? They took that to heart in San Francisco. We're walking down Market Street in San Francisco. We're gonna walk from Civic Center to Powell Street. That's where we're gonna turn around at the cable car turnaround. So let's see if any stores remain open.
Every store is closed on Market Street in San Francisco. This is from 3 months ago, so this would have been like late summer, early fall. This is San Francisco, California. Major city in California. Okay.
That used to be a hotel. And that in the corner used to be a bank. I think it was used to be a Chase Bank. This here's another closure. It's got a for lease sign.
So basically this is downtown San Francisco, right?
Right here in the corner. This used to be a Burger King. Closed. Let's see if we can check out the front.
Yeah, it's a Burger King. Yep.
Yeah. Burger King. Have it your way. Yeah, that in the corner used to be a Chase Bank. And that's the Whole Foods market that recently closed.
Yep. Available now, retail
As you can
space.
see, has available now retail space.
Huh.
Sign. There's another sign right up there. It says for lease. It's one of those cases of retail cannibalism. Smart business. That used to be the main entrance for the Whole Foods.
What's funny is there's all these people here, but what are they there
Have you
for?
ever heard of
There's nothing
the
here.
steps
There's
of
no
City Hall?
businesses.
They took that too hard in San Francisco.
Right? Like, what are they all here for? There's nothing here.
They're getting chased off right now.
Sour flour? What the hell is that? There's some cops, right? Or security? No, that's cops. Looks like cops.
This is Civic Center. Nothing civic about this center. All of this here is vacant. This right here is also vacant.
Yeah, office space available.
This used to be a fast food place.
So maybe you guys don't understand, but the way it works in a lot of major cities in the United States, on the ground level is where there's businesses that are street level. So for example, like he's saying, fast food, banks, restaurants would all be on the bottom level, but then there's upper levels in these buildings that are office spaces, apartments, and things like that. So what he's showing you is that it's all vacant. It's the ground level's empty, the upper level's empty. These buildings are completely empty, and these used to be thriving areas of commerce and people living there, and somehow downtown San Francisco has turned into a ghost town where there's nothing, yet there's still people all wandering around.
Here we have another of these mobile command units.
Mobile police unit just sitting there in a van. Like, look, that's a moving van. Ha! They repurposed a moving van to be a police vehicle.
In that corner right there, see that red retail for lease sign?
Yep.
So another business that's closed. So it's the one next to it.
They're
too.
literally all closed, right?
So is this one. So is that one. That used to be a happening place. Used to be a donut shop.
Wade Mills says before pre-COVID, this city was actually very lively. I guess COVID destroyed it now. Well, keep in mind, California, right? Much like here where I live in Washington State, very liberal. So they had one of the most extended lockdowns of anyone, right? Like here in Washington State, no exaggeration, I saw so many businesses, not big, giant companies, but like small local businesses. They went out of business during COVID. Like they couldn't stay closed for a year. They had no money. They tried to do delivery. There wasn't enough business. They all went out of business. So if you're having an extended lockdown of a year or more, it could have literally like destroyed entire areas of the country. And this looks like one of them, right? That's what it certainly looks like to me.
Yeah, there were lines of people at these.
Yeah, and again, the
donut
weird
shop.
part is, look, there's still people. Where are they going?
So
There's
blacked
nothing
out.
here. There's no businesses. The entire street is empty. So where are these people walking
Here are
and
some more
going? There's nothing
closures.
here.
That one there is closed. Oh, Zombieland tours.
Big
Let's
bus
hop on the
tours?
bus.
What are they touring? There's nothing here.
Whatever you do, don't get off the bus.
Where was it touring? An empty street, right? It's funny because it totally looks completely set up to be a thriving city. It looks like there should be business, there should be commerce, there should be all kinds of stuff going on. It's all
a
empty.
bank, but sure it doesn't look open. See those barricades
Yeah,
in front of
it's a
it?
closed bank. Look. Oh, but you know what is open? The check cashing pawn shop. That's open.
See, everything's closed. This block, the entire block, everything's closed.
Wow. You gotta wonder how many places are like this. I mean, being honest, this is what I hear downtown Seattle is like. Like, many places in downtown Seattle look just like this. Because during COVID, all that crap went down, and it never recovered. And now crime is way more rampant. There's not enough police to keep order, so all the businesses just left. So there's entire sections of Seattle that are completely empty, just like this. So, I mean, this is San Francisco, California, but I would guarantee you that in Seattle, there's places that look just like this. It's pretty sad, right? It is. It's seriously sad that this is what's happened to a lot of American cities. Anyway, let's watch one more video before we split apart. Let's see what the next one is.
Within this tank lives a miniature world. Animals
Ooh.
will adapt, partnerships will form, and life must face Mother Nature herself. The ocean is a dangerous
Look at that
place,
thing. That
but
thing's
despite
cool.
all odds, some animals have evolved to survive. It transformed from a barren wasteland into a thriving
Wow,
ecosystem.
that's cool, man.
To understand the mysteries within, we must go back to day one, where it began with the tank, some rock, and a whole lot of sand. The water was initially cloudy, but as it began to clear, it revealed a hauntingly beautiful landscape.
This is pretty neat.
It was entirely lifeless, so I introduced plankton, the bottom of the food chain.
Whoa, look at that. You put in plankton.
Over the first 10 days, I did nothing but let them multiply.
Huh.
Plankton may not look like much, but they are the foundation to all life on our planet.
Wow.
So they're kind of a big deal. On day 12, I introduced macroalgae. They are the equivalent to an underwater plant. They are covered in tiny snails and even the occasional starfish.
Look at that starfish. That thing's
Together,
cool.
the plankton and algae will fuel the fire of life in the aquarium, starting with hermit crabs.
Very nice. Oh, they're very colorful hermit crabs, too.
Most of them explored the tank for pieces of debris and algae. Some of them were quite large, while this guy is smaller than the head of a penny. But this one had another idea.
Uh-oh.
He was on the hunt for a new shell.
Hee.
Maybe this one will do. He had to inspect it for size, shape, and quality.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then he made the move.
Here he goes. That's cool. You get to see him out of his shell. Oh, that's cool.
A perfect fit. He'll use this shell as a home for many months to come.
I've never seen the hermit crab out of the shell like
By
that. That was
day
neat.
20, the snail population began to boom.
Oh boy, look at the snails.
They were taking over the rockwork, the glass, and even began climbing out of the aquarium. Many of them harassed the hermit crabs,
no.
and the glass was covered in eggs.
Oh boy.
I had to stop them. it was time to introduce a snail predator.
Uh-oh.
Meet the pistol shrimp,
Oh.
an expert snail hunter. I added him into the tank, but there is a catch. He is completely blind, and
Whoa.
the hermit crabs may try to eat him. He was outnumbered 10 to 1. He needed protection, and that is why he is not alone. These are goby fish.
Ooh.
They have incredible eyesight and will protect him with their lives.
They will?
In return, the shrimp will build them a home.
Really?
But after adding them into the tank, they seem to have all vanished.
Huh?
But underground, they were building a fortress.
Oh my god. Look at this. They're building like a tunnel together. Dude, this is awesome and amazing.
They were safe. They were home.
Look at that.
Meanwhile, above ground, the rock was looking barren and empty. It was time to introduce coral. They may just look like colorful rock, but with time, they
Whoa,
begin
look at
to
that.
emerge.
Time lapse. That's so cool, man. Whoa.
Coral serves as a refuge to life on the reef, and this jewel coral is no different. It is covered in holes that are home to a very special kind of worm.
Ooh.
Christmas tree worm. They use colorful feathers to catch food passing by.
Look at that. Oh my god.
But when they get scared,
Zoop.
they disappear right back.
Suck
into-
back in. Dude, I love this.
I even
This
added
is so.
a
How
few
long is this? Oh wow, it's really long. We're probably not gonna watch the whole thing. This is fascinating, right? See, here's the thing, because Felix the Maid says you should get something like this. My question is, what kind of care does this need to maintain, and how much of an investment of money is it? Because if you remember, several years ago, we used to have someone named Coral Guy who was on my streams, and he was an aquarium guy, and he explained, he's like, you can get a really nice aquarium setup that doesn't need a lot of upkeep. Like, you don't have to do a lot of work to maintain it. The problem is you have to invest a ton of money up front, like dropping like $800 to $1,000, and then you can get a big tank. You can set it up to have an ecosystem that's pretty much self-sufficient and everything, and it's all fine. Like, it'll work perfectly, but it's just so much money to freaking get it going, and that's the problem, you know? Like, I don't have $1,000 to set up an aquarium, you know? So that would be the concern. But absolutely, I would love it. I would absolutely love to have a beautiful aquarium full of variety of creatures and fish that you could watch and take care of and enjoy. It would be pretty cool. I think I would really enjoy it. Let's actually fast forward to the end here. A lot of people are saying, yes, it is a pain. It's a lot of work. Oh, God, there's the ad. Here, we'll do this. The
That is
hawkfish.
enough food for the day.
Look at all these guys he has in there.
Now, as the sun began to set, the coral put on a show. They light up the night to attract plankton.
Wow.
There was a feeding frenzy. They were not the only ones to glow. The plankton do as well.
Huh.
It is one of the most breathtaking displays on our planet, and it made me realize that coral reefs in the wild must be even more beautiful. Or so I thought.
Oh. So this is going to be an environmental video
Over
about how
half
the
our
coral's going
coral
away.
reefs are now nothing more than a graveyard.
Yeah.
The ones that we still have left are fading into memory. But it is not the end. There is still hope. And thanks to your support, I am donating $10,000
Wow.
to the Coral Restoration Foundation.
That's nice.
Here's another video of mine that you should definitely check out.
That's nice. Very inspirational music to add to the video. That was a pretty good video. Pretty cool. But again, you know, like something like that, I would absolutely love to have an aquarium in my house, but I don't know. It's probably too much of a money investment. It's probably a lot of work, I would think, right? Don't you have to constantly be like draining it and putting clean water in there? And you know, it just seems to me like that's, if you're gonna do that and you're gonna have a big elaborate aquarium, like that's it. That's your house, right? Like, you're not have any more pets. That's too much work, right? Unless you're gonna pay someone to do it, and good luck. Now, what are you, rich, right? To pay someone to do it? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right, guys, good part. Thanks for watching. DSP versus the Internet, episode 38. Hope you're enjoying. We're halfway through. Another 90 minutes to go, and a lot more videos to get to. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.